For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.
Hello, Pokemon fans! I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries, and today we are here with Deck Tech Thursday, number 49. Yeah, that's crazy. The next Battle Frontier Friday we do is going to be number 100. And I'm going to take this opportunity to let you guys know that this will be the last two deck profiles you will see for Deck Tech Thursday and the last Battle Frontier Friday you will see. Due to a couple of things that I don't want to announce yet at this particular point in time, during the future there's going to be some changes, and one of the changes I'm going to make right away is we are going to be cutting the competitive deck series. I've come to this decision for a number of reasons. First of all, there is something outside of the channel that is changing that is making it a little bit harder to keep up with the competitive scene. And number two, because of the fact that we don't keep up with the competitive scene as much as we used to, I've decided to go ahead and just cut that series off the channel entirely. We're just going to stick with pack openings. I'm still a very avid collector. I love the cards. But as far as playing the game goes, not only have I not had the time to do so, I'm really not going to have the time coming up in the next couple of months. So instead of putting out decks that are just everywhere that you can already find, or putting out together decks that are going to be bad and not necessarily work that well, I've opted to just go ahead and cut them entirely in the future. I do greatly appreciate all of the support you guys have given us over our competitive part of the channel over the years, but truthfully, the joy of Pokemon remains with me in opening packs and collecting cards. So I want to convey that passion more so than something that I just don't get a chance to do anymore and don't have the time to do, and really just don't have as much passion for, and that is actually playing the game itself. I still love to play PTCGO for fun, not going to change that at all for our streams or anything else, but as far as making physical decks on the channel and battling physically, I think that's something that we're just going to cut moving forward from here. There will be one more Deck Tech Thursday after this, which will be N's Deck Tech Thursday, which will be number 50, and then we'll have Battle Frontier number 100 the week following that. After that, we're just going to stick to openings, the mail series, Father and Sunday, things like that. The PSA stuff will continue, but as far as Deck Tech Thursday, Battle Frontier Friday, building things and playing against each other, it's just not in my passion, and it's just not something that's going to be possible moving forward for time purposes more than anything else. So again, thank you guys so much for supporting this series and our Battle Frontier Friday series, but this is the swan song for those two series. After this, we are done with it entirely. I understand that a lot of you guys come here for deck profiles and for battles only, but that's just something that we cannot continue moving forward. And I completely understand if you're not here for the openings. I completely understand if you're not here for the PSA or the mail series or anything else. Totally understandable, but I have to make sure that this channel continues to be what I want it to be more than anything else, and I want to put the passion into it that I have for opening packs and collecting and PSA grading and all that other good stuff. So moving forward, this series is no more, and I appreciate your guys' understanding. Again, if you're only here for that, I do understand if you move on to another channel. I don't expect you to stick around if that is the case, but everything else will remain intact as usual. It's just this series gone. So just want to put that out there. First and foremost, before we get started here, the deck profile of choice for this week is going to be something that is very anti-meta, and that is Attacking Hoopa. Attacking Hoopa is a deck that has come up recently, very, very popular due to the fact that there is such a heavy Buzzle, very heavy GX. Let's just go out and cover everything. Everything that's GX, everything that's EX, GX, it's popular. Mostly just GX, of course. But the thing that stops that, Hoopa! Hoopa, man. Scoundrel Ring. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon by your Pokemon's opponents, Pokemon's GX and EX. This thing shuts down everything that's meta right now. Zoroark, Buzzhole, everything. Those are just two, but they're the biggest ones, so that's what I'm going to say right now. This shuts down all of it. Now, Garb, maybe making a little bit of a resurgence, but we have a little bit of an answer for that too. It still remains that this is still good. But Attacking Hoopa means you're going to be attacking with this guy. You're going to be dealing out your 80 damage. You're going to go for the 2-3 shots. And you're going to be okay with it because you can't get damaged as long as your opponent's Pokemon aren't Garb with a tool attached to it. Or Muck. That's another thing. A Alolan Muck will shut you down. Other than that, this guy reigns supreme over all of them. Even Baby Buzz has trouble with this, and I will show you why as we move on. But we have 4 copies of Hoopa in here with Scoundrel Ring from Shining Legends. This is going to be your main attacker for the deck, but it's not the only attacker for the deck. It's a great way to stall out your opponent. It's a great way to win the game based off of not being able to be hurt by other Pokemon, but we have other options as well. Our answer for Baby Buzzle is 3 copies of Mewtwo from Evolutions. This thing right here is a monster against Baby Buzzle. Psychic, 20 damage, and it does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. A Baby Buzzle with 3 energies is getting knocked out by Mewtwo. And you know, chances are, you're going to power up your Mewtwo faster than they're going to power up their Buzzle with 3 energy. So this sucker right here is going to do the job for you every single time, and you've got 3 of them in the deck. So you have a better chance of outspeeding them, only having to attach that double colorless. And even if they only attach 1 energy to it, you can still take it out in 2 shots, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, we got other ways of making that happen as well. Just, yeah. Here we go. We got 3 of the Mewtwo here as well. I'm trying to think. Actually, 1 energy would be 20. That's 40. That's 80. Yeah, you're 2-shotting it. Yeah, exactly. All right. Just making sure my math is correct there. I didn't want to mess that one up. Also, we have another addition to this as well that works out very well in the deck, and that is going to be Latios from Shining Legends. This has Breakthrough. Kind of funny if you think about it, since that's a set name. Breakthrough for a double colorless does 30 damage, and it does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So you can hit Buzzles for weakness, 60 damage, and if you have a Fighting Fury Belt attached, you're actually doing 80 damage instead, and you're going to be weakening things on the bench with 30 damage shots, 30 damage over there to those on the bench as well. So Breakthrough, really good attack for that. We got 2 of them in there. It's a great secondary attacker, or third, I don't know, thirds, whatever. It's a great attacker regardless. This is your main attacker. This is another great secondary attacker, and then this one falls just behind that one. We also have 1 Oranguru with Instruct. Once during your turn before you attack, you may draw cards until you have 3 in hand. This is the way that you're going to get some extra draw when your hand is low. You can't be end really that badly unless they play Garb or Alolan Muck. Psychic, 60 damage, and it does 20 more times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active. You're not going to use Psychic very much at all, if at all. This is mainly here just to draw cards when you have a small hand size. We also play 1 copy of this Oranguru as well from Ultra Prism. Resource management is the main thing there. You're going to put 3 cards from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck in any order. This is really good for things that you had to burn through that you didn't necessarily want to, or if somebody plays Enhanced Hammer, or if you've thrown out DCEs, great way to get those back as well. Profound Knowledge, 60, and your opponent's active is confused. Really not going to use that. But Resource Management is a great attack there to get cards back. And if you attach a Fighting Fury Belt to this, it's really, really, really hard for this to get knocked out at 160 HP. So that's just something to keep in mind. This is your Pokemon lineup. There's no Tapu Lele in here. You have to make your opponent play a 6-prize game, or you have to make sure that they knock out everything on your field and leave you with nothing before they take their 6 prizes. That's the only way they're going to win the game this time. And getting through 4 Hoopas is not an easy task at all. So, our supporter lineup is as follows. We have 4 copies of Professor Sycamore. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Still a very standard supporter, and it works out really well. Not really having to worry about pitching too many cards based off the fact that we have resource management as well. We have 4 copies of Cynthia, which is great when you don't want to throw things out. You can just shuffle your deck and draw 6. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6. We also have 3 copies of N. You could cut something to put a 4th N in here, but I personally don't like 4N anymore because I just don't think it's as strong, especially in this deck when you're really going to be ahead more than your opponent, especially if you're doing your job correctly with this deck. And you're just going to be giving them more cards, but in instances where you fall behind and you don't get Hoopas working for you and they're burning through all these other attackers, or if they have Garb and you don't have your Field Blowers, then you might actually benefit more from the end than your opponent would. But it just kind of works depending on how the game gets played out. We also have 4 copies of Guzma. This is going to be another major thing because if you have a Pokemon, if your opponent has a Pokemon on the bench that you don't want there, you can just Guzma and take it out. I mean, if they're preparing a Baby Buzz in the background and you're just sitting there basically just draw passing back and forth, you can Guzma out the Baby Buzz when they get it to 2 energy or 3 energy and just take it out, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. It won't be an issue. You don't have to be concerned about losing anything, because chances are they're going to power that up before they bring it up, and if you surprise them with a Guzma, a well-timed one can really just swing the game in your favor very, very quickly. We also play 1 copy of Acerola in case you're getting hit with things like water shurikens and things like that. Acerola, you can pick that thing up and take care of that. So, not an issue there. All right. Let's see here. Not water shurikens, I'm sorry. The Frogadier and the Greninja that evolves like that. Not the Greninja GX, but the Frogadier that goes up, you can prevent that damage. And anything else that hits this that's not in GX Pokemon. But anyways, this picks it up. That's the point. We got 4 copies of Nest Ball here. Everything we play is a basic Pokemon. We don't have to worry about Lele's, so why play Ultra Ball? Why throw out cards when we can just get a Nest Ball and just search for a basic and put it down? I mean, really no reason to play Ultra Ball when you have 4 copies of Nest Ball at your disposal with a deck that just runs basic Pokemon. We also have 4 copies of Max Elixir. This is really important for getting your Hoopa going quickly. If you are in a situation where you're deprived of energy and all you have to do is just run the Max Elixir and hit a Dark Energy and then immediately attach for turn a double colorless, and you've got a Hoopa ready to go, powered up in 1 turn. We also have 3 copies of Fighting Fury Belt. This is going to deal 10 more damage because the whole deck is eligible for Fighting Fury Belt. It's going to deal 10 more damage and give you 40 more HP. I would like to put a 4th in here. I'm just not sure how to make it happen. I don't feel comfortable going into my supporters because I'm already cutting it close with 9 supporters. Most decks are running 10 or more, so I don't really feel the best about that idea, but I would like to have a 4th Fighting Fury Belt. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. I have 2 copies of Floatstone as well, because when you Guzma, you've got to move something around as well, and you're going to want to make sure that whatever you're getting in the active has a Floatstone attached to it so you can retreat for free. You really don't want to put anything else up. The only thing I could see tentatively doing if you have an energy to attach to it is Latios. Everything else is a double colorless retreat cost, and that can be painful. We also have 2 copies of Weakness Policy. This is something else that helps you against Baby Buzz, that really just kind of swings the game a little bit, is you have Weakness Policy attached to your Hoopa, okay? You can't get hit for weakness. They've got to hit you for that 120. If they don't, they're not going to be knocking you out. So that's an important thing as well. We also have 2 copies of Field Blower. Garb is back, and this is your only way to really swing the game back around. Get rid of those tool cards attached to your opponent's Garbs, and hope that they don't get it anymore, because Garb does give this deck quite a bit of a problem. We also have 2 copies of Super Rod. Shuffle 3 in any combination of Pokemon and basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. You could potentially cut the 1 Super Rod for the 4th Fury Belt. You could. Actually, I'm kind of considering it more than anything now. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I think 1 Super Rod will actually be just fine. I'm going to go ahead and modify this deck right now and say that I would rather have the 4th Fighting Fury Belt. I'm going to say that right now, because now that I'm really considering it and thinking about it, 1 Super Rod is probably going to be just fine. Actually, wait a minute. You know what? Maybe not. Gosh, that's such a tough thing because you don't play Rescue Stretcher in this deck, so if you lose a Hoopa, the only way you're going to get it back is to shuffle it back in with Super Rod. If you lose the energy, if you lose a bunch of energy, that can be really beneficial, but will you ever really lose? You know what? I think you do need to keep the 2. We'll keep it at 2 Super Rod. Yeah, it's definitely an opinion thing. You could go either way on it, but we'll keep the 2 Super Rod for this one. We got a special charge here as well. Shuffle 2 special energy cards from your discard pile back into your deck. This is your recovery for your double colorlesses besides the fact that you have resource management as well. That's going to do it for Pokemon and Trainers. All we have left is our energy count, which is going to be as follows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dark energy, and 1, 2, 3, 4 double colorless energy. That is the entire deck. Sorry about the little bit of glare there. Trying out some new lights, and I think it's a little bit brighter than what it needs to be. But this is the last deck profile for me, so yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Anyways, guys, that is the deck for Attacking Hoopa that I put together for you. If you guys liked the video, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe for more TCG content, change the deck up the way that you want to. Again, there's definitely some things you could change around. If you're not a fan of the weakness policy, you could run Parallel City. If you don't like the 2 Super Rod, you can run a 4th Fighting Fury Belt. If you don't like the Latios, you can make changes with that as well. There's just a lot of different things you could do to this deck. But this is the way that I'm going to run it, and we'll see how it does against N's deck when he's going to profile that next Thursday, and then the Friday after that, not the next Friday, but the Friday after, we will be doing our final Battle Frontier Friday, which is going to be number 100. That'll be it. That's it for us. So again, thank you guys so much for sticking around for the competitive series that we've done here on the channel. This will be my final deck profile, like I said. So thank you very much for understanding. We definitely do appreciate it. And you know what? It's not saying that we'll never come back to deck profiles ever again, but I think that it's time we take at least a little bit of a break from it. And if we come back to the game and we decide to start playing more, if we have time to start playing, things change, whatever the case is, we will bring it back to the channel. But for now, I think we're just going to go ahead and put it on hold. And we will be focusing on everything else, the openings, the PSA grading, and the mail series, and all that other good stuff that we've been doing here since day one. So again, thank you guys for all the support with everything here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the deck profile, and make sure you stay tuned for Battle Frontier Friday, 2 weeks and 1 day from today, with N's deck profile coming up a week from today. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Take care and have a great day.